Women's empowerment. We're talking women's August meeting and impact on grassroots development in Southeast Nigeria. Our guest is not a visitor to Signature TV. She is Dr. Pat Ndu, a broadcaster and gender advocate. Good morning, Doc. Thank you for joining us this morning on the show.
Good morning, Chiggy baby. Long time no see.
Mama, I can
good.
call you Mama.
Yes, that has taken my AKA self.
Yes.
So it's okay.
Great. Looking fabulous as usual. I was
Thank God.
asking you before we went on air, what is your secret?
Peace. The kind of peace that surpasses all understanding. Nothing bothers me.
How did you get to that point?
Well, the reality is, the things you can't change, you adapt to it. You know, there's this prayer we pray in the Catholic Church. God, give me the serenity to do this and the things I cannot change to adapt. So that's what that has been my mantra. I don't bother. Anything that will give me that kind of unsettled mind, I'll just abandon it. What's the point? See, when you see people die, you begin to have a new realization that this life get as it be. You don't have to bother yourself too much. Problem no they finish you.
Make you try to enjoy.
Okay.
All right, so Mama, let's talk about August meeting. It has become like a national sensation of some sort for the Igbo tribe, where women from all walks of life, they gather during this period to meet at their various villages. What exactly is August meeting? Maybe to a Gen Z, he or she must have heard about it, but do they understand the spirit
behind it?
Behind August meeting?
Well, August meeting is a product of the Catholic Women Organization. Yes, that's how it started. Yes, historically, it was started by one Mrs. Okoye of the Onitsha Ecclesiastical Province before the Civil War. It didn't start today, but the noise is recent. But it has always been there. It started in the Catholic Church, then started to bloom across other denominations. Other groups began to emerge. I don't know whether the Pentecostal move has adopted it, but I know that Anglican, Communion, Methodist, and all those people, they have joined the fray. So, but technically, really, it was meant to be a connect between those who are in the cities and those who are in the villages. That was the, because when you live in town, sometimes you don't get to go to your village for over a year. It depends on where you live. Well, people who are in Southeast, have all kinds of events that will take them there. But there are people who are in Kotungura. There are people who are in Kano, my degree. So they don't get to come. So they have to walk towards that August. And again, like you said, why August? Elementary geography tells you that rainy season starts in May and ends in October. There's something they call August break. It's like the rain begins to dwindle. So they put that meeting in that season, and then it's at a time the children are on long vacation.
Yes.
And the mothers want a bit of rest. They want to have a bit of fun time with their contemporaries, and then they head to the village for a change. People now take care of them instead of them taking care of people all the time. So, and then there is extended family that they also connect with. If they call them Alotaradi, it starts with the Alotaradi group and the Umuada.
Yes.
Alotaradi are those people who are married, the wives. Umuada are the daughters of the soil. The two groups merge together. But the major reason that they're there is for development efforts. It's for grassroots development, because they notice that in the cities where they live, so many things are already in place. You worship in a big cathedral. You have church halls where you do your meetings. You have other things that you do. But sometimes when you come back to your village, you notice that some people do mass or service under a tree. Some of them will look around them and it's like everywhere is dilapidated. So it's their way of bringing development to the hinterland, to the grassroots. But it doesn't stop with just development. They network, they put all kinds of things on ground. Some of them even do things that will give them returns on their investment. In my community, we have a 2-story building church hall. We have an oil palm mill. We have even schools. They are now investing in schools. The women are investing in schools. Yes, they set up schools within their structure.
So how do they make this money? Through cooperatives or grants?
Well, trust women, they have their way. They will do levies, they will do dues, they will do fines, and then sometimes they ask for donations. If they don't get direct, they go through the back door and do investiture. So when they call you one big name like that, you come in and you give them, you open your box strings for them. They call you Kosisi now 43. So, but they come across. I mean, but the important thing is that whoever you're even giving the investiture knows that this is for common good. It's not like people want to gather money and squander it. No, you see it there. You see their footprint as they do some of those things. That is what it is. Development. Some of them have even built civic centers. Some have built maternity homes. Yes, because sometimes you go to the villages, the closest maternity might be 2 communities away. And then you see women who are in labor at night. If you're not careful, they will birth in the compound there. And some of them are actually prepared to use the local birth attendants to take care of their business. So now today, maternity is in. So they are building, even if it's a 2-room structure, you put it there. And hire a doctor, hire a nurse, and do auxiliary nurse training, and then increase the profile of the place. And sometimes if they do well, the government comes to, kind of partner with them in this their PPP thing. So that's what happens. So it's all for grassroots development. That is what it is about.
I hear you on that impact of the August meeting by the women. But recently, or recent times, when there's this outcry, against value degradation of our morals and values, what roles, do you think the August meeting thing will play in, building?
It's always been there, because I'm talking about, all these development things. But if you go through their program on the average every year, they bring in resource persons who come to talk to the younger women in particular. There is a book in the Bible that talks about older women trying to train the younger. But the younger doesn't mean, the older doesn't mean age. You can be 60 and dumb, and you can be 30 and smart. So they bring in resource persons who come to talk to the women on various things about home keeping, taking care of the children, taking care of the husband, taking care of the caregivers in your home, how to keep your house clean. There are still homes you enter and you want to use the bathroom, and you say, please, can I use the bathroom? Somebody will say, Chalukwa. Chalukwa means she's not certain that her toilet is clean. What kind of household does that? So you have not taught your children or the people in your home to know how to clean the toilet behind them. So those are the things we talk about. And then personal hygiene. There are women who, or men too, have those issues. But when we get the woman to know how to take care of her personal hygiene, she will now go and pass that on to her children and her husband. She will now teach her children what it means to use deodorant. And if the husband does not know, she will now go and pass that down too. So we teach. I have been a resource person in many of those meetings, so I can tell you for free that the women enjoy those talks. Then there are times that they teach them how to make soap. They teach them how to cook certain meals. A lot of women do not know how to cook. They will just carry this one, carry all kinds of seasonings and add there. You taste it, your tongue will kind of jackpot. So those are the things that we do there. So yes, we have issues with our value system. But remember, the hand that nurtures the cradle is the woman. So if we get it right at their level, chances are that we'll get it right with the children. But half the time, the women do what I call, what do I call it now? It's like you train other people's children rather than your own. Technology transfer, that's what I call it. You allow your children to watch TV all day.
Outsource.
And then you outsource training
technology
to everybody. And then when they leave you, they carry your training. Meanwhile, when you ask your children, do this. I don't know how to cook that one. No. I know how to make plantain and indomie. So that's a challenge right there. So we bring people to do all kinds of talks in all kinds of, and today we have all kinds of issues in the health sector. So we also bring in health professionals to teach them how to cook healthy. Because a lot of people know how to cook, yes. Is the food healthy for the family?
What do you cook? That's the question.
How do you cook it? How much oil is in that food? How much oil is safe on the average? How do you do exercises without doing slump and die? Because some of them do not even know that ordinary walk to, park your car at a distance and walk to the next location is also a part of exercise. Walk around your house. If you have staircases in your home,
use them.
Do that several times a day. Just take your time and do it without looking at it like you're exercising, but you are exercising.
You're working,
but you're obtaining some kind of calorie loss by doing that.
Absolutely. Let's talk alternative conflict resolution. I had this conversation with a guest a while ago where it seems as though the Nigerian justice system is failing, and we were discussing alternative ways of resolving conflicts. Now, does this happen with the Women August meeting? Is there a platform where women can bring their conflicts and get it resolved? Do you have a case in point?
Yes, there is a platform. It's constant there. If I've been in one, of course, I'm a trained and certified mediator and conciliator. I'm a part of the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators.
Good.
Right? So I understand conflict resolution. I understand alternative dispute resolution. People can go to court for years. They spend money back and forth, and there is no solution. But the beauty of the alternative dispute is that ends up in a win-win. Nobody heads out with a bloody. All parties go out and go home satisfied and happy, and you can still retain your friendship. And yes, we have plans there. There was a time widowhood rights was more like take women to hell because their husbands died. There was a time that children were being molested everywhere, and the people doing the molestation are uncles inside the home. And so because they don't want a mini scandal breaking out,
stigmatization,
they cover it up. And when they cover it up, the child is inadvertently damaged. So I've had to deal with a number of those things. Sometimes they call me in because some of them know that I am into conflict matters. So we pull it out of the general group because part of the thing is that we don't like shaming people. We pull it out from the general group, do what we need to do, and send a report to the EXCO. This is what we have done, and this is how we came about it. So the same thing has happened with widowhood principles and rights. Over the years, that one is dying down. You hardly hear where people are saying, you will not go to work because your husband died. You dey crazy? So what is she going to, train her children with? Empty hand? So that one is dying down, especially since they got a legislation backing it up. At least I know that, is it Anambra Enugu that has one now? I think it's Enugu that started. I don't know whether Anambra has. So it's difficult for you to go and torment a widow. But Anambra Commissioner for Women Affairs is doing very well in protecting women's rights. Except she doesn't hear if you're Binabo, she will go after you. So, and some of the things that come up at that August meeting, they find a way of escalating it.
Good.
And once they escalate it, help will come.
Can we talk about that escalation? What's the process? Is there like a collaboration with Ministry of Women Affairs?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
They now know that they can collect the information and take it one step further. Especially because before you start going to the Ministry of Women Affairs, you must have made an effort to see whether it is something you guys can do. But if it becomes impossible, you get help.
Okay. All right. You did mention when we started this interview that the August meeting was started by a certain lady, Mrs. Okoye. Yes. But you then said that the noise, if I'm quoting you correctly, started just recently.
No, it started, I think, around the 80s.
Why do you think that paradigm shift occurred?
Different grades of women were growing up, and then the Shakara Oloje people began to come into the mixture. So, because at a time when that noise started, you know what followed? Started with it.
Yeah.
So they began to use that event to showcase how wealthy they were or how wealthy their husbands were. So if you say Abada, for them, Abada means Hollandis. And then you say Laos, they go and buy the most expensive lace in the market. And then they go and wear all kinds of million naira worth jewelries. So that's how dress code started.
It just flows beautifully into my next question. I was going to ask you, what's with the uniform issue with the
That was where it started. The dress code was to make everybody feel the same. So whether you had money or you didn't have money, just wear this dress code and show up at the meeting venue. It's a leveler. It was a leveler. And even with that dress code of China white, you know that they are China white blouse, it has cut across denominations as well. Because, in the Anglican, they wear lace, white lace with their Mary Sumner. But Catholics will wear China white with our diocesan uniform or the national uniform. You're not allowed to wear, because the way they look at it, they even tell you that wrapper is like a sacramental. Don't abuse it. So they don't allow you to wear anything else other than that China white. If you want to wear something else, you don't come into their venue. They lock the door and even give you a fine to pay. So when they started that dress code, these people who were lawless still went and started wearing very heavy gold. And then they also abolished gold. You do not wear gold with that particular dress code. They will give you bead, 10 naira bead to wear. If you want to wear, if you must wear something, wear that 20 naira bead on your neck that everybody will wear. In fact, they sell it at the meeting venue. If you want phone, if you must wear necklace.
This is the necklace to wear.
Yes, if you must wear it, this is what to wear. Other than that, come in bare neck.
But has this actually changed the attitude of the women?
To a large extent, yes, because you can do your thing outside of the ring. We are not saying don't wear what you like in your house, but in this place, you can't. So you just wear that at 2 naira ankara. It's normally something, a uniform that they make and sell at a flat rate. And then we all know how much is China white. Everybody can afford it. Even the common villager can afford it. But if you say it will be lace, a lot of them, of course, when you say lace, grades don't follow. Some will buy all kinds of high-range lace fabric just to show that this is where we
are women after all.
Yes, we like to do nonsense.
All right, so let me understand the power play here. You did mention some stakeholders. You mentioned Umada Alotaranadi, and then you did mention that this came from the church. So we're talking Christian women associations. How does it really play out? And seeing that the Umada construct is actually, fading. So as the advent of August meeting, try to salvage the Umuada. Because usually in those days when Umuada, when they say a thing or they pass judgment on something, it stands. I'm not sure it's still that way.
Umuada is still there. But
how has August meeting boosted or otherwise? How has it boosted the impact of the Umuada?
You heard what I said. The August meeting is both Alotaradi and Umuada. The Umuada will still have their power in their homestead. You know, because August meeting starts from the village level.
I just want to know who answers to whom. Before they pass judgment or ruling, do they, you know, pass it through the August meeting?
In the church, Umuada will not function in the church. Umuada will only function traditionally, where they have their say. In the church, it's the exco that has the final say. So whether you are Ada or Alotaradi has no meaning. So normally they will have their executive. So once they start talking, they are talking to their exco. Once there, that is their process. That is the way to go. Umuada, when you come to your kindred, that's where you do your Umuada thing. You understand? So it does not whistle the power of Ada, but at the same time there is no collision. Okay. Everybody knows where they should be.
Where they fit in.
Yes, we all know. I'm Ada in my father's house. I'm Ada in my kindred. But when I go to my husband's place, I'm Alotaradi. And then when we go to August meeting, we have a common umbrella. The common umbrella there is, for me, as Catholic Women Organization. So those are the people that I owe, whatever I owe. But what I noticed of late is that the church is doing August meeting. The community is now doing August meeting. Yes, the community has started to do August meeting because now we have town unions. We have the women wing and we have the men wing. So as the church was getting ready for the August meeting, the community was getting ready for their August meeting.
And one person can actually be a member of both.
You're a member of both now. As a member of the community, you must belong to your town union. If you don't belong to your town union, if you buy wherever you live, they will refuse to do certain things with your cups. They'll say, carry them, throw away in the ground, and that's it. So the ideal thing is to be part of your community at the town union level. At the church level, be part of the church. Have an identity with a faith-based organization. So that is the expectation. And that is what is happening now. I know in my community, the community August meeting happened 1 week before the church August meeting. So that people come in and they're able to roll over and stay for the church meeting rather than run back, come back in. So that's the way it is. We have double arm now because government of Anambra State is interested in town unions, and they when they started having all kinds of issues with the men lording it over the women and dragging them, they now created town union women wing, town union the men's wing. That way they're able to relate. The governor's wife is able to take over the women wing leadership and have a way to communicate with them. You can't have any political thing without that particular town union being involved. So it's a win-win for them.
Absolutely. What's the onboarding process for joining the August meeting for a young wife or a woman that was born into the community? What's the entry point?
Well, most entry points, you start from, like I live in Enugu, right? I have a church in my community that I'm a member. So we have the church, a branch in Enugu here. I started out with St. Charles Catholic Church, Achina. But now they've given us a new parish, Holy Trinity Parish, Achina. So you go there and register first. So the Enugu people, when they call for membership, they will submit your name. You have to pay, it's not for free. You have to register and then pay your dues to the larger organization and then pay your dues to the group in Enugu, because that is actually how you package some of those things. If you don't do that, it will be a problem. So that is that's how you start. You start from where you live and then heading, especially for those who are living outside of their community. Those we call home branch. those people living in the village, they have their meetings there, and then we all meet at the central body. The August meeting is the central body. All the branches come in full or with representatives, because now we're dealing with high transport costs. We're dealing with insecurity. So we're very conversant with that, and we don't expect everybody to be able to come. You don't want somebody to be traveling all the way from Kano or Maiduguri, and then some hoodlums will capture them somewhere. Exactly. So we have a hybrid now, part online, part physical.
Okay.
But those in the southeast, we encourage them to come physically. Or those outside of the southeast region, they join online. And then all the events, they find a way of putting it out there so that those who are not on ground will see it. So they still feel like they were there when it was happening.
Okay. Is there any plans, or is it actually obtainable that the August meeting franchise has been extended to members in diaspora? Is there any connection there somewhere?
Well, yes, because at this point, some diasporans have set up similar groups where they are. We're not like those ones. We're not expecting them to come in here, but we want them to contribute to what is going on here.
Exactly.
So where their hands will not reach, their money will reach. So when we have big deals, our major sponsors are those diasporans. So they are part of it. They're a big part of it now. It didn't used to be there, but they're a big part of the group now.
Is there a success story to this? Maybe a project or something?
Like I'm telling you that we built a two-story building.
Yes.
Which pocket? Which pocket? How deep is your pocket?
The rich husband.
Well, rich husbands are there, but you know, because the town union itself is also dragging the men. It's not easy for them to do here and do there. So we drag them. Of course, who did I tell you they will give all kinds of investiture?
Yes.
To search their pockets and bring something out of it. It's a rich husband.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, so going forward, where do you see this franchise in the next 5-10 years?
It has come to stay. That's the bottom line. And you know, today they have sponsors though. They have all kinds of brands coming to them. I know there was a season I took Nestle and their Maggi product to my community and 3 communities in Enugu here, because I had a link there. So they came, they did a lot of talk on nutrition, you know, and kind of explained this. You know, there's a lot of demarketing on some of these things that we add to our food. So they will come and tell you why it is not correct, how healthy it is. They organize cooking competition. Yes, they organize cooking competition. They give out prizes. Nestle does it. They call it August meeting something. Then I also hear that Guinness has begun to do it. Oh, women like to drink Guinness now. They like to drink stout. So it is only something that somebody likes that you're going to use to get their attention. So, and many more are joining them. So there's no going away. So they're partnering with them in ways that you may not even see physically. You know, they can be the wind beneath their sail, but they'll be a silent partner of sorts. It cannot go away because the reality is, it's making sense that we want to come. This is a typical Akunono. This Akunono philosophy that they are bringing in now has always been there through those women. But nobody called it that. But that was essentially what it was. That's the spirit behind it. Akulono. You do not go in the city and you're doing shakara. And then people come to your village and you're living under the mango tree. You live in a big house and then you do mass under a mango tree, under a shack, or under, yes, in the village. So that's their way of saying, instead of paying all my tithes in the city, let me bring it here. But you know what? The church is smart. Like the Catholic Church, I don't know about other denominations. You know what they began to do? Pre-August.
Interesting.
Catholic Church, any thousands, I don't know about other people, they do pre-August. Pre-August, they flag it off with so much noise.
Interesting.
It means come and do something here before you start going home.
Is it like a Thanksgiving or what exactly is it?
Pre-August, and I beg you, they have events. Activities lined up. Women gather in various locations, various fields, doing various things, and then doing auction sales. Don't be money they come out from your pocket. So they do pre-August. That pre-August means give us our own before you go home.
As in gifts is our.
Yes, and the women were not very happy with it, and they're like, "We're here all the time. The 1 week we choose to go and touch our community, come and give up pre-August again. Pre-August you pay, there are bills, there are levies. So that is where things are now, because I think we are beginning to see that when women go for the August meet and come back, when you're looking for money in their pocket, they're not willing to give you anything because they don't have it. They've left everything they needed to live in their villages. But doesn't it make sense that you leave them alone? They do offering every Sunday in the church.
And
where
special offering.
They do special offering. They do all kinds of things here. Then you come and do pre-August. There is God.
I hear you, Mama. Okay, so before we went on air, we had this conversation and we were concerned that younger ladies, especially the Gen Z generation, they are skeptical about going into marriages. What do you think will be the role of, the August meeting gathering and the women in trying to address this and probably, change the minds of these younger, women?
You can't do it with talk alone. Children do not respond to what
you say.
They hear. They respond to what they see. So when you see a lot of buzzwords in families, when you see that your parents don't get along, in spite of till death do us part, when you see that their marriage is not something you want to relate, not be somebody who tell you make you back off. So I think the reality is that the younger people are looking at their parents. For them it's like and then they begin to dodge the missile. Even telling them, you have a child, you do this, there's no need bringing any child in the world to go through what I went through.
What I saw my mother go through, what I saw my father go through.
Because some of them watched their mother in abusive marriages. Some of them watched their mother being talked down on. Some of them watched their mother struggle to eke out a living. And sometimes if you have an irresponsible dad, it's not all the time though, he will be...
Let's put it out there, they are good men.
They are good men, yes. He will be giving out money to side chicks and they will not pay the children's school fees. There is so much happening, but I keep telling them there are still good men out there. The only thing is that do a bit of courtship, and during the courtship, look out for red flags. Look out for non-negotiables.
Could you tell us, because young women are not really onboarded correctly before they go into marriage, they just go into it. What are those red flags? What would be the thing that in a conversation with a man you hear it, you are?
I keep telling young girls, when the voice goes up during courtship, the hands will come down when you marry him. When you see a man who has poor anger management skills, it's a red flag. When you see a man who is chicory with money,
stingy,
very stingy, it's not going to change anytime soon. It's a red flag. Look out for men who will also support your dreams. There are people who are typically, they look at a girl, they say, if you leave her, she will fly to the moon. And they start from day one to
insecure men.
Very insecure. So when you see insecurity around any man,
run, sister, run.
So it depends on individual. What can constitute a red flag to me may not be for you. But if you look, there are things that are constant. I can't deal with a man's anger management issues. I can't deal with somebody who cannot control his anger. At every turn, the neighbors next door are hearing his voice. Who is he talking to? Is he his child? Why? And a woman you cannot respect and you're screaming at. see finish. And then when you see somebody who is always discouraging you from being you, from being the best, from pursuing your dreams, run. When you see a man who is very good at collecting from you and not giving, run. When you can say, oh, give me 10 naira or 10,000 naira there, or give me 15,000 naira there, I'll give you back, and never gets to give back. When you see that, that's a red flag. That person is very stingy, and marrying him is not going to change who he is. Then the other things you look at is the family where he came from.
Interesting.
Who are his parents? Who are the people that he's accountable to? It's very important. If a guy is not accountable to anybody, and if a girl is not accountable to anybody, they could run away. So those are the things we say to them, but they are so laid back, they don't even want to look. Those of them who go in and think everything is a prayer point. Everything is not a prayer point. God is tired of all these prayer topics that you bring in every day. You're praying over the same thing. You're telling the man at the top, please change this man. The man was telling you when you were sending for this man, don't go there. Because the Spirit of God will tell you that this is not a good move. But half of the time, your mates are getting married, your mother is telling you to marry, your aunt is telling you to marry, you jump and enter into the lagoon. So that is what we are seeing here. A lot of my contemporaries are kind of troubled that their children are not responding to the marriage call. It's not even about them. It's what they see all around them. It's not about, sometimes it's not about what they see in the immediate family. It's what their friends are living that is kind of threatening their peace. You say, actually, this my friend got married. She has not had peace ever since she got married. So I don't know what we're going to do to get them to. But in those meetings, we try to teach the women. This is how to bring up the children, not just the daughters. Because one of the things I notice is that we spend so much energy raising the daughters, making sure they don't get immoral. And nobody pays attention to the young boys. So the boys have a free range to sleep with every girl on their track. So you will hear a mother say, hey, I've seen you going after somebody's daughter. You're not discouraging the child from immorality, fornication. Rather, you're saying if you get her pregnant, because it will be on that track until it will not be your daughter that will be pregnant, so it doesn't matter. If you get her pregnant, you know what to do with it. And usually when the boys get the daughters pregnant, their mothers are the first to come and fight you and say, leave my son alone. The girl allowed it. So you allow your son to unzip, and then the other girl who opened her gate is the one that should take all the flogging. It's not good. It's not right. So that is the thing that is happening. But young girls, there are still good men. Go and locate them. Look out for them and find them. Right. Because otherwise, one day we'll stay here and we'll start looking for people who have children for us.
Well, Mama, finally, before we let you go, you know, there's this belief that women are women's, worst enemies. How does this August meeting move engender women supporting women's spirit in the very fabric of the society?
That's actually one of the things that they do.
Okay.
Because, yes, we are our worst enemies sometimes. But we can connect. We can, kind of get each other. That's why you do the community effort and community building and all that.
Yeah.
But like we say, be careful. Because those who you call your friends might turn out to be people who will stab your back the most. So that you meet somebody at the August meeting doesn't make him your friend. Doesn't make her your friend. So just limit what information you give out there. Because people who don't have information on you can barely hurt you.
That's true.
Because people don't understand that. They'll just go there, they'll be giving fake testimony. And then before you leave the event, that testimony has spread on social media. Especially now that we have social media. Be careful. Be careful. And, you know, I keep encouraging women to have what I call their Elizabeth. Elizabeth is somebody you go to like Mary did, that will listen to you and not judge you.
We listen, we don't judge.
You listen, you don't judge. You don't pass judgment. All they want to do is kind of unburden the body. They are not telling you, because you're not God, you can't do much for them. But the other thing about the Elizabeth is that whatever you say to them, they take it to their grave.
That's right.
It doesn't filter out. So find one or two in different areas of your life. People who will encourage you. If you don't know how to cook, and Elizabeth can teach you how to cook without telling people, I taught her. You know, you can go to somebody, I ate this soup in your house. I think I like it. Can you tell me what you did? Tomorrow you hear, she doesn't know how to cook. Was it not the other day she came to my house and I was doing a walkthrough with her? And eventually when they keep saying that, your husband will hear. Because your husband may have eaten the food and say, and then they come up and say it was Madam H that gave you the recipe. And then you're in trouble.
Interesting conversation. Thank you so much, Mama. It's always a pleasure talking with you. Like, time flies whenever I sit down to talk with you. Dr. Pat Undo in Flesh and Blood, broadcaster, gender advocate, speaking about Women's August meeting and impact on grassroots development in Southeast Nigeria. Thank you so much, Mama.
You're welcome.
Signature TV. News in your pocket.